such as chickens. They're about the same size, I guess.
It's like between a chicken and a pheasant.
Yeah, I was going to say none of the descriptions I found are very useful. Judging by the picture, though, it kind of has peacock feathers on the back with white, fluffy feathers around the neck. It's obviously bigger than a chicken, smaller than a pheasant. It's kind of like the platypus of birds, if you will. That is a weird-looking thing.
So this is where your picture comes in, because the color on this rock is so dark that it seems to suck the light from the room.
That's right. I had heard about this, and I just wanted to share it out there. If you guys haven't seen a picture of this thing yet, you should definitely look it up. BMW has come out with a car. I believe it's the BMW 6X, but they painted it with a special color. It's called Vanta Black, and this paint is so black that it absorbs 99.997% of the light that touches it. So you can look at this car, and even though it's formed, it's got body panels that look all sleek and sexy, you can't really tell when you look at it because it's so black. None of those things reflect the light. It literally looks like a hole in what you're seeing, and then there's a fucking headlight sticking out of the middle of it. It's fantastically black. And I would love to own any vehicle. I'll paint my car the way it is now, this color, and be much happier with it, because I think this is a really cool thing. And to be honest, I was reading through a couple of articles, and I found a company saying that they sell this stuff. It's called Black 3.0. You're going to have to look it up online because I'm a hack and a fraud and I didn't do my research. But it's supposed to be even darker than this Vanta Black.
Ooh.
And this is the way that I picture the Nightstone. It is literally just a hole in what should be something. It's so dark you can't even see a reflective surface. It just sucks all the light into it.
Yeah.
And it's very sexy.
And this is the reason that this color comes up is because the Nightstone is probably this color.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Richard wants to know what he's going to do with this fucking rock.
I feel like this was almost a missed comedic moment where she gives him the rock and he's like, yeah, great rock. What the fuck is this for? It's weird looking. I'll give you that. But it's rock, lady. It's a rock.
The last thing I got was a sword.
Right. Sword's much more useful than a rock, I feel.
But she follows up very quickly by telling him that when it's dark and you have need enough, you take out the Nightstone, and it's going to give you the light you may need to find your way.
Kind of vague there, right? A little bit.
It's a nightlight.
It is a nightlight. It's a portable nightlight at that.
It's only going to work for its owner, and only if it was given of its last owner's free will. So, like the opposite of the genie's lamp.
Which makes it steel-proof. Nobody can take it from you.
Right.
And use it. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, nobody's going to be nicking this off you in the middle of the night.
Probably like that new Vanta Black BMW. Probably has a personalized key. I don't know. I'm just running away with my fantasy. I want that car.
Well, also, who's going to want to steal a stone from you anyways?
Yeah, like we said, it looks cool, but it's just a rock.
Yeah. But apparently, Zed is going to be able to track that shit. So it's like a little GPS chip.
It kind of made me chuckle a little bit. It's a smooth black stone that people can use to track you. And I was like, she gave him a fucking cell phone.
And see, Chet, you can use that as a flashlight too.
Right, absolutely you can. Richard has the world's first cell phone. It's magic. That's how it works.
Yes.
That's what
sense.
Wi-Fi is. It's just magic.
I mean, let's...
It kind of is.
Be real.
I can't explain how it works, but it does.
We've had plenty of conversations about the cloud. We don't need to have that conversation right now.
Yeah.
Richard tells Adie, this has to be valuable. I don't feel right accepting it. Adie tells him everything's valuable under the right circumstances. Right now, you're a thirsty man.
Well, yeah, because, Goodkind's horny.
Everybody's always a little bit thirsty in this book.
Yeah.
And Adie thirsts for dark and raw to be stopped. Besides, you can always fucking bring it back if you feel that bad about it, man.
Right. I mean, use it now, but there's nothing stopping you from just giving it back to me when you're fucking done.
Yeah,
Don't throw it away.
Yeah, stop crying about it. You don't gotta be like, oh, I can't take it. Yeah, just borrow it. I didn't say you had to keep it.
Adie seems like a pretty practical person.
Yeah. So Adie turned and picked up a necklace, and she holds it up for Kahlan to see. It had a few red and a few yellow beads to either side of a small round bone. And Kahlan's like, that's just like my mother's old necklace.
I mean, duh. We know where you got the first one now. Not much of a surprise.
She obviously has a whole fucking toad of them in the back.
Right.
She pulls them out for tourists.
She sells them for $6.95.
Adie puts it on Kahlan and smiles. She's like, for now, it's going to hide you from the beasts in the past. And someday, when you have a child, it's going to protect her and help her grow strong, like you. And then they hug and share a moment. And then Kahlan looks all upset and says something in that weird other language.
I mean, it's got to be thank you, right? You would think.
You would think, I guess. She's sad, though. Adie just puts a hand on her shoulder and says, you guys need to get some rest.
Didn't they just wake up?
It's been a long couple hours. Okay?
But Richard is a little bit miffed because he's like, what the fuck? I don't get a protective bone? That's not something I get as the seeker. And Adie studies his face for a moment, and then she touches his tooth. And she's like, no, you don't need a bone. The beast can't see you.
The tooth on his chest.
Right, not the one in his face. She touches his tooth.
Just randomly.
The tooth that is the proof. Right. No, that could be weird. But the one thing that stuck out to me here, he realized it was because of the tooth that the things from the underworld couldn't see him. And if it wasn't for the tooth, he would have been struck down like the others, and Kahlan probably would have died.
Right.
So the tooth played a pretty fucking important role without his even knowing it. And more so, Adie didn't out him. She touched the tooth underneath his shirt, but she didn't tell Kahlan that, hey, there's a thing underneath his shirt that's doing a thing that I'm not telling the whole group about. So is Adie now holding secrets too?
Apparently, because she's like, you don't need a bone, Heartlander.
True.
The beast cannot see you. And then she takes a hint and keeps her ass quiet. Kahlan seems confused by all this, but she lets it go. And, I mean, it's just a couple of you sitting there. If there's this weird exchange between Adie and Richard, and Adie was calling everybody out about secrets and lies earlier, wouldn't you be like, hey, what the fuck was that, guys?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. The other two are sleeping, so it's only a three-way conversation happening here. You would notice a look between two other people.
Right, and it even says that she's confused, but she just lets it go.
Adie offers Kahlan her bed for the night, and Kahlan's like, nope, not gonna take it. Not gonna be an intrusion on your life, which I think is probably nicer than I would be. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to take a trip. I don't know the next time I'm going to sleep in a bed or get a hot-ass meal. So fuck yes, I will take you up on your offer. Thank you for your bed. It would be weird, but I mean, come on. Kahlan is a better person than I am.
I get that you're an old lady and you only have one foot, but you know what? I have kind of a bad back, and the floor doesn't agree with it. So yeah, I'll take your pillow top.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I appreciate about you, Adie.
But yeah, and honestly, I think she just wants to lay by Richard.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, that's the... Because they lay their bedrolls out by the fire next to each other.
So Richard sat down by Zed and Chase and just took a break and smoothed the old man's hair. And you know what? I think we need to take another break, too.
Is it that time already?
Yeah, I guess so. It went by real fast.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back right after this.
And we're back. Richard hated to leave Zed behind, and he wondered if Zed knew where to look for one of those boxes, because he had no fucking idea. And he has no plan. So he wishes that Zed would have clued him in a little bit, because he has no idea what he was thinking. It may have been a wizard's trick to try and darken Rawl. He has no idea. He's just flying completely blind at this point. Kahlan sits by the fire watching him, just kind of waiting for him to come back, because, like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is the whole reason she didn't choose the bed.
Right, she just wanted to snuggle up with Richard. But he's kind of having a moment right now. He's spending a little bit of time with Zed and Chase, even though they're both still blacked out. This is, 3-4 days now?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Pretty fucking serious. But all jokes aside, this must be a really serious moment for Richard, because he knows this is probably, or might be, the last time that he ever sees Zed and Chase.
Which is sad.
Yeah. No, it's really sad. They all got him this far, and you would like to think that he'd be able to take this journey with at least Zed. We knew that Chase wasn't going to go.
Right.
But he was like, yeah, Zed's fucking coming along because I need Zed.
Yeah, he knows a lot more than I fucking do at this point. He's, kind of been leading the way.
It kind of reminds me of a line that I've heard at work. Oh, you have a plan? Oh, no. Fuck your plan.
Well, when Richard came back, Kahlan laid down. The house felt warm and safe, and Richard turns, and he looks at Kahlan playing with the bone necklace, and he watches her breasts rise and fall.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet he did.
And Kahlan gets all, sober and serious here, and is like, I'm sorry we have to leave him behind.
Of course she did. Don't screw this up. There's nowhere else for me to look in the room. How can we make this more awkward?
I'm going to talk about your friends that may never see you again. That's how we're going to make that more awkward.
Yeah, but in all fairness, tits. So.
And Richard says he's sorry too. Kahlan tells him that she hopes that he doesn't feel that she forced him to leave these guys behind because of what she was saying in the swamp. Richard assures her it was a right move. Time's ticking on. Truth is truth, and he's not going to be angry at her for, slapping him with the reality of the situation.
Right, it is what it is. You can't change it.
Yeah.
You have to deal with this now. It can't wait.
We're not going to sit here and watch them snore. We're going to get the fuck on, okay?
It would be more convenient to have them with you.
Yeah.
But if it's not an option, it's just not an option. Wish in one hand, shit in the other. See what fills up first.
And at this point, he sees a vein in her neck pulsing. And he thinks she has the most delicious looking neck he has ever seen.
Weird though, right?
Yeah.
Not only is it dark, so a weird pulsing vein on the side of somebody's neck. Not a super easy thing to see in the dark. And secondly, vampire much? Oh, her neck looks delicious. I can see that fucking vein. What the hell? I feel like Goodkind may have watched a horror movie. You know, he checked out Nosferatu or something. I was like, yeah, vampires.
Because, 2 seconds ago, when he was all yeah, he was watching her breasts, you could understand why he was, getting a little horny, you know? You're like, all right. It's late at night. She's got her blanket down around her waist. We're laying there next to the fire together. Her breasts are heaving. It makes sense. But here, where he's like, yeah, pulsing neck veins, you're like, maybe tone it down a little bit, bud.
I also wanted to point out, that's not how you lay down. Okay, me, I'm like a stomach side sleeper with the one leg kicked out. You know, the arms are kind of underneath. You're not quite in a ball, but you're kind of curled up. Kahlan lays flat on her back with the covers at her waist like a corpse. And I can't sleep like that. Maybe some people can. You know what? In fact, I'm sure some people can.
No, as a woman, okay, I feel like this was a tactic. She can't roll over and be all, facing him. Because then that's a very forward move. Hey, I'm laying here. I just want to talk to you and be all about you. And if she faces the other way, then she's like giving him her ass and shutting it down.
Invitation